welcome back to Miss Cindy's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you the traditional butterscotch brownies. And this is from a cookbook I got as a wedding shower present 30 years ago. As you can tell, it is well loved. And anyway, this one calls for shortening rather than butter. And what I've done ahead of time is I've melted a half a cup of shortening and then 2 cups of brown sugar. Gonna mix that together.
So what's the difference between the one we did the last time and this one here?
This one is a more dense, chewy brownie.
Okay.
The other one came out really cakey and spongy because it was supposedly a lower fat version. And it was good, it just wasn't the same as the traditional one. So I wanted to show you all the traditional version.
So this is more, well, I guess you could say it. You could say this has more fat in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's made with shortening rather than butter.
Alright.
And so now that we've got the shortening and the brown sugar together, let's put the eggs in the mix. I'm going to crack the eggs into this dish here. See, this is why you crack eggs into another container rather than directly into your recipe. Because
big shell?
Yeah, that's why I like doing it this way. Alright. So, I'm going to mix these in one at a time. And oddly, these eggs are from the same pack and the yolks are different size. So, who knows? There's all kinds of weird variances in eggs lately. Yeah, this is a much more dense bar cookie, and it's really good. The other one was just really cakey, and it just wasn't the same as the ones I remembered from ages ago.
But they were good, though.
They were good. They just weren't the same. They were different. They were more of a cake.
So if you were like recommend like more of a cake version, you'd want to recommend that one.
Yeah, and that's more low fat, and I don't know, but this one I think is just better. But it's relatively simple. You just melt the shortening on the stove, and then you mix in your brown sugar and the eggs. So far we have a half a cup of melted shortening and 2 cups of packed brown sugar and 2 eggs and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So I'm just gonna do 2 short blobs of vanilla in there. So this is pretty easy. And now that we've mixed that in together, we're going to put in, this actually calls for 1.5 cups of flour, whereas the other one was 2 cups. So that's what makes it a little bit more dense, because you don't have as much flour.
Oh, okay.
And there's 2 teaspoons baking powder and a half teaspoon salt in here. So now we're going to mix all this up. Gotta mix in the flour mixture. And one nice thing about this is you're mixing it all in one vessel. The same thing you melted the shortening in, you can add in all the other ingredients. Just like in the other one, I melted the butter on the stove and then proceeded to combine all the ingredients in the sauce pot. Alright.
So the big difference is this one has shortening and the other one has butter.
Yeah, and this has less flour. So that will make it more dense. Get all the goodies off the bottom here. And where the other one I mixed walnuts into the batter, I'm going to put in some semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Ooh.
So this is a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Just in case it's not rich and dense enough, we're going to put some chocolate in it.
Now, you did say last time that you would use nuts or chocolate chips just for crunchiness?
To give just an add-in, because otherwise it's going to be one texture, which is good. But if you want to add something else to it, you can add in the chocolate chips. Sorry about that. Got to check everybody's eardrums here. And this batter is much more sticky and dense.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
And again, this was originally for an 8x8 pan, so the measurements I gave you are for a 13x9 baking pan. Because when you double an 8x8, the volume is equivalent to a 13x9 pan. So, see how sticky this dough is? So, we also heavily greased this pan with some shortening. So that way it won't stick. And it's supposed to be at 350 degrees for, let's see here, 25 minutes. So like the others, it will probably be a total of 30. And I neglected to preheat my oven, so it may take a few minutes longer. So, all right. So let's go put this in the oven, and then we'll bring you back when they are ready to come out. So please like and subscribe and share to your friends, and please give me your feedback because I love hearing from you. And we'll be back with you momentarily when these are all done. And here are our beautiful butterscotch brownies, the traditional recipe. As you can see, it's much more dense brownie, and it looks more like a cookie rather than a cake like the other one. And we're back now that the brownies have cooled off enough to cut. This is going to be delicious. And we still have one remaining from the prior batch, so you can see the difference in texture between the low-fat version from a later edition of the same cookbook versus the original. I always like trying new ways to make things, and how the same recipe or the same dessert can have multiple recipes and multiple methods of preparation that can affect the outcome. So I always find things like that interesting. So this is the traditional butterscotch brownie that I have added semi-sweet chocolate chips to. And these are both Betty Crocker recipes, and they are available on their website. This is the Traditional Blondies. So we will show you what these look like. This is a much denser, chewy cookie. And
oh, yeah.
Whoops, a little plop there. Okay, so you can see this is the one that we just made this episode. And this is the one we made a couple of, on a previous episode. This is a much more cakey, spongy dessert, whereas this is a rich, chewy dessert. So, you want to try this?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, Logan, you can watch your dad take a bite.
Yum. Really good. The chocolate and the butterscotch go really well there.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll hold the camera. And...
oh boy, my turn.
what do you think? How do you compare them to the prior version?
These ones are brownies, not cake.
Right.
Yeah, these are really, really good.
A nice, dense, chewy cookie. All right. So thank you again for joining us on Miss Cindy's Kitchen. And again, thank you for all your comments and feedback on my videos. I enjoy reading through all of them, and will do my best to get back with you. So please like and subscribe and share to your friends, and please join us again soon. Have a great evening.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.